was a massive problem for them. One of the biggest reasons why they got upset on that map and in that series. I don't mean to overreact, but it started already with the first kill in the pistol.
And you got to think that Zeta's got something up their sleeves, picking bind. Mimi mentioned it. The desk was talking about it, giggling from Junior.
And Laz as well.
Yeah, Laz as well, I mean, with the pick.
Just having a cackle.
Here's the hit coming through, though. Smokes being played inside. Depp just making sure to cover those angles towards the back of it still as well. Finesse trying to work his way around. That is snappy from Depp. You love to see it.
Those smokes, I mean, ended up helping the Zeta players so much, dipping in and out there to be able to clean things up in the 5v4. NRG go down early. You got to expect that they'll be anticipating aggression like that across the map. Again, one of the big things I felt that NRG were rushing, one of the details that was missing when they lost to Billy on Split, is that their duelists at the time, Victor and Artis, are expected to just get space for free, or get space based off utility. Like Sand, for example, there. You see the trademark gets thrown down, and Victor starts walking up, gets caught in transition. These peaks that come at unorthodox times, perhaps a little like what Laz is doing here.
This is a crazy angle.
Have caught NRG off.
Popped up on the box there using the util. First signs of life through the choke point, but I mean, just to touch on a prior point that we were making, the desk was talking about. If you're looking at two maps to expect a finesse masterclass, it would be Bind and Haven. You know, the calling style of NRG, they love to do a lot of fakes with those maps, especially on Bind. You start to see the TPs being used here, but with Zeta picking it into them, you got to think they've got something up their sleeves, and the proactivity that we've already witnessed has been quite good.
Artis would be the danger player if there was one with 3 bullets in the headhunter. Nobody's going to give him a peek. So NRG grouping up towards the weaker side of Zeta, but still the weaponry so good.
If they overwhelm, might be able to get a plan down here because they have grouped up towards long.
But there's double players with Spectres in sight. Sugar Zero and Crow should be able to hold this off.
That's very good, yeah. The molly from Sugar Zero has done an excellent job here. Are you really going to rotate here with 30 seconds? Spotted out, Artis pushed off of it. Thought he had some space granted towards him. The rest of his team had his back here, but they're going to be flooding right into this. Zen doesn't have a nade. So going to be able to use that one to deny the plan over the top of the box. Seeing that angle, lovely shot, hit and rattled with the classics. Plan is theirs.
What a whiff. I mean, that is unfortunate there. The two Zeta players falling in spots where they easily could have dealt with this. NRG have a massive chance of being able to clean this up, but it's still only Victor with a rifle.
Doubled up though. Stun, that's a connection onto Sugar Zero. No one wants to push. Take that round off of it, tripled up. Damage definitely done towards him. Final player spotted out. Depp. He's got so much more to do here. Crashes weak, will fall.
There goes
shot
the gun.
There. Upgrade obtained, but this crossfire setup should be surely a slam dunk already. Skipping over towards the side, forcing out. He spotted the two players, knows roughly where they are, but there's only 6 bullets left. He's got to force a clean fight. 2 classics, but again, time is against him, and it's being bought and purchased with Finesse, paying for it with his life. He's won them the round. And NRG, it's going to be that MasterCard Thrifty.
What a flip around compared to NRG when they played against Billy, and they themselves won pistol and threw away the second. NRG were very diligent there in terms of rotating around, looking for their opening, and eventually found it with that shot. Artis using a headhunter bullet to take down Laz, perched up in heaven. And not just that, snowballing instantly into a second, as 10 was unable to find his kill. Posted around showers. This is going to send the economy spiraling into the opposite direction. And a strange clash down short. Depp with a hero rifle.
Yeah, exactly. Potential, serious potential. With Artis falling, there was no follow-up there.
Not enough respect given there, I feel. Again, you know, it's very common for teams to go for some kind of eco push down short, and Artis is relying on the fact that he's got his rendezvous, believing in his reaction times to help him escape from any level of danger, gets caught. Could that be the opening that Zeta need in order to win another very unlikely Thrifty round?
Calling a stack. Sole player with a rifle, which is Depp. He's left to just hold down A, which is where most of NRG are grouped. So, only a util for Crashies, but he doesn't opt to use it. Instead, they want to contact up behind the wall, dropping it down, facing together in case any players are here. It should be the plan for them unless Depp can play spoiler. No one is actually going to be pushing him from behind in showers here.
Crashies isn't the one with the spike. He's just holding space for Som to be escorted in. And now Crashies, I thought was going to be holding Showers, but instead is into the smoke.
No one's holding for it. Showers is not there. Step isn't even looking in this direction, but plan denied. 30 seconds here. And now rotations abound here for Zeta Division. Not there with a fight. Trailblazer into the corner. The stun connects and eventually allows for that clean-up kill. Onto Finesse. The teleport rotation. Side on the either side, following around, that's a spike drop down. Hot on the heels, Victor does regain it, but time is of the essence. 10 seconds, has to use the satchels to get in and plant inside, but it's a 1 versus 3. And just like that, and the economical disadvantage does not matter. Okay.
2 rounds in a row where the team that comes in with mostly just classics has taken away the win. Another MasterCard Thrifty. They're all over the place.
Yeah, getting their money's worth.
They certainly are. Speaking of which, I mean, if you want a value round, this is it. It's Depp's position that ends up being the dagger in the back. I know it's still a 4v5 at that point, right? And NRG had already lost Ardis, but to me, the fact that there wasn't anybody covering, it's only Crashies trying to watch anyone who might push through the smoke and anyone who might be Showers.
Yeah.
That's too much work for Crashies to do, supporting someone on the plant. He needs help.
Depp on a heater purchase for the operator. He's holding this hookah push. NRG, they have been contacting quite a bit. I do like the purchase. Nice way to shut it down. Onto the angled out Crow. Might be about to absolutely feed or famine. Well, it's only the 1-for-1.
Like a modest snack.
Yeah,
not necessarily a feast or a famine.
Exactly, it's somewhere in the middle. But they're not rushing into it. NRG stopping the push. They get that pick, waiting it out.
It's a nice smoke there as well. Allows them to retrieve the rifle. Crashies is wondering about any level of spam, but seems to have avoided it from Sugar Zero just for the moment. Depp hasn't given away, as far as I'm aware, that he's opping from here, and here comes the push.
There's the smoke drop down, overdrive close to the corner here. You've got to try and do something about this one. Doubled up. It's the high-low. Even with just the stingers, Som clean that one up now for the plant. Will go down. Nade sailing right over the top. Any damage done? Doesn't look like it.
Surely not another Thrifty, though. I mean, NRG is set up to win it.
Som's earned his ult. Only that, the weapons as well, holding onto Tube. Snakebite actually rebounding close. I think that was meant to go inside Tube. 10 clearing, but Som surely hits this one, yeah. Right into the sight lines. It's good for it. And NRG on the cusp. But have to be magic from Laz. Will he perform it? Here we go, shot misses. Knows where Som is roughly, but it's covered by Ardis. Swinging to the side. It's another MasterCard Thrifty.
I mean, if you're new to Valorant, if you're tuning in to Champions as the big event at the end of the year, normally having the rifles and the better weaponry does give you an advantage.
Yep, it should.
Don't go into your ranked games with only pistols expecting this level of success. But the methodical nature from these teams and the openings that they're being given by their opponents.
Yeah.
I mean, on top of all of this, Depp went for an operator in that round, was tuck cubby and couldn't deal with the hookah flood, and now he's kind of harmed his own economy. In theory, this could be a round where Zeta are able to purchase. It might even, dare I say it, be our first rifle round, except for the fact that Depp now doesn't have the funds because he purchased an operator.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really odd kind of half-buy-ish from Zeta that's still got some weaponry.
It is a strange one. I mean, you can go for a bit of a purchase with the weapons. It's probably what I'm talking about now with this timeout. And they have earned some ults. Same on the other side as well. And there's the orbital strike and showstopper for Zeta Division. Maybe they can get back on the right track with this one. But the timeout ending, the chances are abound here. Just.
And we're going to see, as the coaches evacuate, whether one of these teams can try and materialize an advantage. I've liked the way that NRG have been peaking together. You know, their drop out of hookah was a high-low. Their ability to get into hookah as well, trading off each other really effectively with the pistols and the stinger. Zeta are going to have to be a little cautious about that if their game plan is to post people up and try and take duels at early corners.
Now buying into it though. Got Depp the rifle, flash through the smoke. Anti-flash played by Crashies, so it didn't connect. Might give them a bit of false information, but really slow going for NRG.
On top of that, take a look at the Zeta buy. It's kind of all over the place.
It is, yeah.
It is, I guess, a force, because a bunch of these players are not going to be able to buy for the next round. But you've still got a Judge and a Sheriff in there. Sugar Zero is holding this.
Who's contact?
I would assume this is off. Crashy is actually using the Trailblazer, is what I would expect.
Oh, is it going to be used? No way. Victor shut down. Showstopper, 0 value gain. That's a -8. Artis has lurked his way up through into short, onto this angle, but a lot of sightlines to look out for, even with the operator.
There's no fast reaction from NRG based off the fact that they were stacking over towards B long.
Lad sees it surely. The jump spot.
Now he's
Serious danger. Does reposition though, yep. 10 close to the corner here. Judge in his hands!
How does that kill?
And now the Showstopper brought down! It's collected back to back in the round of South Last through the smoke. It's got to be watched for. Crashies is there, spots it with the gun. Just poking out. 20 seconds left. Orbital strike with another tap to try and bait this one out. They thought it was toward triple. Doesn't catch onto anything at all. Still buys time and a bit of confusion into the mix. Depths behind them. Putting the squeeze on. Finesse moving forwards, but he is spotted. Crow got his sights on it, so Zeta winning that one out, even with the dodgy buy.
Big play through the smokes there too. NRG have really struggled when hitting the A site to control these pushes from Zeta. They're getting stuck on site, getting pushed through a smoke or from showers. And Zeta, once again, with the weaker buy. Every round has gone to the team with the weaker buy. And we see once more, you know, one of those entry players just getting caught out. It's Victor here twice, once on the pistol and now here, you know, misreading the situation, I would say, in that spot. Not considering that there could be a player tucked over towards TP. And sending his Showstopper. We've got a force on the other side now with a Bulldog, a Spectre, and a Guardian.
Yeah.
The economy is just a mess for the start of this game.
All over the place.
Both teams determined to claw their way back into this by force buying themselves to oblivion. And yet, it has worked so far for Zeta. We'll see whether NRG can do the same.
What a presence from NRG towards the side. Smokes are actually dropped down here. What a shot by Crow. Still, Dog at his heels, stuns him up. Laz, though, right behind him, into the smokes once more. Seekers pointing them in the right direction. Laz taking a timing through it. That's the spike drop down. Still, 2 players isolated onto the site. NRG really finding it a struggle. Artist late to the party on top of it. Som spots out Laz, brings him down, but plenty more to do. It's a double face. Great discipline from Zeta Division. Artist, he was late. He was over towards A. Dropping down, making a footstep, and now forced to save. I mean, operator, $200.
These smokes are not deterring Zeta. In fact, they're helping them. The double smokes that Som is putting down that kind of allow you to drop out of hookah, or potentially, if you were over towards B long, sneak into elbow, are just not working. And Artis is going for this as well.
Yeah, I mean, making a play for this one.
I really thought he'd be saving at this point.
It's 25 seconds. Hoping that somebody peeks into his side. Just doesn't seem likely.
He's getting flanked as well. He's going to have to be cautious because Depth's coming around towards the bottom of B long. And at this point, when there's 10 seconds left, you really can't afford to be losing the op.
2 more left though. Does have the TP for safety. Will take it. Back out of there. Will they hunt him?
Look, both duelists were thinking about it just for a moment, but they're going to allow Artis to take his consolation prize into the next. NRG's buy not looking good. No real opportunity to force up around this op. It's all kinds of chaos that we're witnessing here. But in terms of their actual game plan, I'm not a fan of what NRG are doing over towards B. They're putting down 2 smokes towards, like I said, connecting kind of the bottom of hookah over towards like the elbow position. And whenever Zeta have a player that's in garden or looking towards B long, they're using the smokes to find timings on the NRG players as they go for a plant or as they clear back sight. This is actually harming NRG more because Zeta are not deterred. They're just pushing through and finding timings. NRG would benefit more from having the vision to know that the area was clear. And remember back to just the round before this one, they also got punished by Zeta pushing through smokes on A. There's got to be an adaptation here, and NRG have already put themselves in a bit of a pit, just thanks to the unusual economy situation.
Yeah.
Chet's going to have his input here, but as the timer ticks down, you know, 3, 2, 1. And he's out, and now it's just down to the players to figure things out on their own.
Let's see if they can work it out, because right now Zeta Division leading 4-2. It's their map pick a bind, which is unusual enough. We've already made mention of that. It's one of NRG's better maps. You know, historically, you think about this core of this team, the calling style really fits to the bill, I think, of how they like to play as a team. But we'll be jumping back into this one momentarily. Baron is about to fall. And the money, yeah, not looking too good. Of course, that operator that Artis was able to save. But in instances like this as well, sometimes that operator that you're saving can just be a curse as well, because you feel like you can't really make any plays when you want to be taking risks on a half buys. You're almost incentivized to save it in a lot of situations. But this is a deep flank as well. Zeta are not messing around. And how unusual is this? On top of the fact, I mean, they're up against weaker weapons. Timing is missed. Victor was holding this angle. There's a trademark there.
Surely you don't break this and try and force the fight, though. On an anti-eco, this is already so much danger for the Zeta players. They could have got caught.
Much potential to just give away weapons. But it gives so much information as well to the anchoring players over towards A. Towards the back, they got to know that they're corralled and kept in wait.
And NRG have no clue that this has happened. They're trusting in the trademark. Victor's going to look behind and doesn't quite spot it. No, he's focused towards market rather than this tucked position.
Yep, unaware of the timing. This one, here we go. It's going to be dropped down with the satchels to get through here. Sugar Zero, he's got a line up for the molly, denying the default plant spot.
Trailblazer, though, they're going to realize there's someone fast behind.
Oh yeah, now they are certainly. But time, again, it's just running so damn short. They've cut it all the way down, and that fast flank as well. All the information was theirs. Zeta playing this one perfectly. Has to be a miracle opening. Maybe Victor can do so, but the spike's still dropped down. No one's retrieved this one. Into Showers looking towards the side of the smoke. Artis suspects nothing. Nothing at all. Vanessa over the top as well. Will be brought down. And traded 5-2. I cannot believe the cojones on Zeta to make a play like that. You're up against, you know, pistols and SMGs, whatever they had. And you're doing that with rifles against them.
Not just that, you know you're playing against a chamber composition where you're going to run into a trademark at some point. But with that trademark having to be closer to where the chamber is playing, it does offer you opportunities to get really quite deep, a lot further than you would in prior metas. It's not a disaster just yet for NRG, though. That was a bit of a half buy. They're coming in here with the rifle round. But this has got to be a conversion if NRG want to stop the rot.
Satchel play with a flash. Controller Showers with no orb gain, so Crashies, he's got his Seekers. Does force out the pit almost instantly. A lot of util. Expended some shots as well. Rattled through, hoping for an easy kill, but that's still healthy.
Crashies has Trailblazer, has Seekers. There are tools here from the sky to put a lot of pressure on Laz.
And the crazy thing is as well, I mean, Showers control given up. Zeta moving a waff and away from the side actually for a heal, so they've given up control of that. But the timing's not taken. Now the Trailblazer. So all of this one broken pretty early.
And nobody really spamming off the back of it either. I thought that was going to be part of the idea there for NRG to gain some control.
And a good smoke. It was dropped down in Showers.
It looks like they don't want any piece of it. They have pulled 3 players over towards A and put a little bit of fear in the heart of Laz. But now they're going to have to try and get through Depp, who's once more holding a bit of an unusual position.
Yeah, but also of a potential for disaster with the amount of time that's on the clock again. I mean, NRG have not been getting the openings they want. They've really just been in a chokehold.
Oh, look at the rotate.
Close, off angle, calling for the rotate. Now, util in their hands. Stuns, lay it down onto the floor to safety. Many numbers as well, now rotating over Zeta. Making sure there's no gaps in their play. Although, as I say, that depth, that is cheeky. Out of the smoke, left. But no opportunity for play here for NRG. You just got to back away and save your guns once more. NRG, they cannot get anything done.
They really can't. There's no opportunity to open a pick. They're slow. It's been difficult for them to find openings. I feel like in the past we would have seen NRG very decisively try to deal with that pit. Already a protocol in mind for how to deal with something like that. And instead it feels like they're a little lost in these spots. And if you'll forgive me for being a bit poetic, this year I feel like NRG remind me of, they're like an artist that gets a little older, and then they're trying to recreate the masterpieces and find that flow state of their youth. all the familiar lines are there, you know, it's technically solid, but the magic and all of the rush strokes is just gone, and it leaves the overall effect dull. Missing the magic that separates a great painting from a work of art. It's just not there right now.
Magic might be on the side of Zeta Division. We know how much it means to them as well. They want a chance. Gotta remember, elimination game. Nade into the corner. Sugar Zero is blinded, but does use the TP to evacuate. He might be in trouble. Chance for a pincer, but no, it just gives up that B-long control while Ardis is watching.
There is only a single player defending B currently. Of course, they know that one of them had to take the TP. Seekers used, and now Crashy should have some understanding. How many Seekers are being used?
I'm not too sure, actually. It's just faking us out, I think. Doesn't look like they are being used. Orbital strike. Into the back. Som using that to try and clear out. They didn't really get the answer they were looking for, but now that Ardis has all of this ground gained, kill, the potential's there, yet not anticipating it. So Laz is brought down. Showers. Control there. The Snakebite have to skip over towards it. This time, front section of the site is there. Victor doesn't win the fight out. Had to hold that one still as Ardis. Slow field, drop down as well. It's going to make it difficult for Zeta to really push forwards now. Using the Trailblazer, another shot, rattle, two still in the chamber. Ardis bringing them all down. They're calling for it. Ardis is hunting for it.
I don't think he's going to be offered the opportunity. It looks like Depp is already thinking of evacuating. No, he was just clearing behind.
They have money to make a go of this one. Into the corner. Ardis is down. Damage done to Depp, though, and time. Starting to hear it tick. Not a chance, really, with it. Crashes can play inside. First point of contact. Crow just hoping to take away the guns as well. Maybe keep the zone. Will not get that. So,
talking about keeping weaponry, though. NRG had a chance of being able to get out earlier than that and keep Crashies alive, but it's not going to harm them too badly. This round, much more familiar in terms of NRG finding those nice positions, making sure that they get that the pit down towards lamps. That is a finesse classic, and working the round a kind of, with that as the pivot point for how they want to play those situations. Also managing to get good value out of the tour de force. Despite the fact that Victor lost the duel. Zeta is still in the driving seat here. We're going to go into a bit of a tech pause. I am very confused what happened with the Seekers. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you, Brent.
Yeah, I mean, that just broke my brain.
Someone had somebody's trail.
Yeah, it was going
on. But I'm not sure who.
I was like, wait a second, Old's still online. Yeah, not too sure, but...
Still, this is a tough spot for NRG to be in.
But the difference maker in that last round was, I think, is you're seeing the general game plan of Ardis being the late lurk player. The rest of his team kind of poking over towards one other area of the map. And that instance, Ardis managed to get a lot of space. Here in the rotations, pushing up, and crucially as well, they had a lot of time on the clock to make their play. It's been, kind of burnt down to the final 30 seconds or so. But in that instance, they did have a lot of time to work with.
They also navigated the early round fairly well. You saw Zeta going for a play where they tucked a player towards that B-long teleport, and that's a spot that caught Victor completely off guard in one of the prior rounds. And this time, send a nade towards